The Sultan of Brunei was briefly the richest man in the world with a net worth of $40 billion. However, excessive spending caused his net worth to plummet. Don't feel too bad for him, he's still worth about $20 billion and remains one of the richest royals in the world. The Sultan has curbed his spending and become more financially prudent in recent years, but he still likes to splurge from time to time. He has a grand palace, a gold-plated Rolls-Royce, a private zoo, and luxury hotels all over the world. This is how the Sultan of Brunei spent $20 billion. Sultan Hassan Al Bolkiah's $20 billion net worth is all thanks to Brunei's rich oil and gas reserves. Oil production and extraction in the country is overseen by Brunei Shell Petroleum, which is a joint venture owned by the Brunei government and Royal Dutch Shell. The Sultan makes about $103 every second from oil and gas production. The Sultan has turned all that black gold into real gold. His coronation in 1968 was a lavish affair, and after Brunei declared its independence from the British monarchy in 1984, he briefly became the richest person in the world with a net worth of $40 billion. The Sultan's excessive spending quickly spiraled out of control, and he and his brother Prince Jeffrey Bolkiah blew through billions like it was going out of style. So, how did the Sultan spend all that money? The Sultan of Brunei has an incredibly impressive real estate portfolio. He owns luxurious properties all over the world in addition to lavish homes and palaces in Brunei. The Sultan's official residence, Istana Nurul Iman, is a $1.5 billion grand palace with 1,178 rooms and 257 bathrooms. No expense was spared during construction. The interior is adorned with gold-woven carpet, diamond fixtures, rare Italian marble, and the finest silks from China. Istana Nurul Iman's stunning banquet hall can fit 5,000 guests, and the Sultan's gold throne is the size of a small apartment. The 2.2 million square foot palace has 5 swimming pools, 2 mosques, and 564 diamond chandeliers. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, Istana Nurul Iman is the largest residential palace in the world. Frankly, the Sultan of Brunei's palace is so luxurious that it makes Buckingham Palace look like an outhouse. The Sultan doesn't need to leave Brunei for a luxurious vacation because he owns a private zoo, theme park, and a world-class golf course. His $10 million private zoo is filled with rare and expensive animals, including 30 Bengal tigers, falcons, flamingos, and extremely talented cockatoos that can play basketball, ride bicycles, and even imitate other animals. Jeradong Park, which was built by the Brunei government for $1 billion, has roller coasters, bumper cars, and water slides. Admission used to be free, but now you'll have to pay a nominal entrance fee. We bet the Sultan still gets in for free. The Sultan's opulent golf course at the Empire Hotel and Country Club was designed by none other than legendary golfer Jack Nicklaus. The course offers stunning sea views and regularly hosts top-level professional tournaments. If you're rich enough, you can even stay at one of the Sultan's palatial hotels. Through the Brunei Investment Agency, the Sultan owns the Dorchester Hotel in London, the Beverly Hills Hotel in Los Angeles County, Le Maurice in Paris, and Hotel Eden in Rome. Move over, Jay Leno, the Sultan of Brunei might have the largest and most valuable car collection in the world. He owns more than 7,000 vehicles, and his entire collection is valued at $6.4 billion. The Sultan has a 500-car fleet of Rolls-Royces, including a $14 million gold-plated Silver Spur 2 limo that's used for ceremonies and special occasions. His $600,000 Rolls-Royce Phantom 6 was custom-made to his specifications, and his $14 million Rolls-Royce Phantom 2 Continental, nicknamed the Star of India, is one of the most expensive cars ever sold at auction. Some of the cars in the Sultan's collection are so rare that they're one of a kind. He owns the only right-hand drive Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR in the world. The $2.7 million supercar is fast and powerful thanks to its 6.0-liter V12 engine. Speaking of speed, the Sultan reportedly owns 5 McLaren F1s worth about $20 million each. One car is never enough for the Sultan. The Ferrari Mythos never made it into production, but the Sultan still owns 2 of them. There are more concept cars in his garage too. He owns a $3 million Bentley Java that's one of only 18 ever made. If you somehow manage to get inside the Sultan's garage, you'll see 100 Koenigseggs, 500 Mercedes, a fleet of 450 Ferraris, 21 Lamborghinis, and 11 Aston Martins. His Rolls-Royce collection is the largest in the world according to the Guinness Book of World Records, and he owns 3 Bugatti EV110 Supersports worth about $2.5 million each. In the 90s, Ferrari built 6 exclusive FXs for the Brunei monarchy, and the Sultan reportedly still owns 5 of them. Today, the Sultan keeps his collection locked away in the garage, but in his younger days, he was known for being quite the speed demon. He and his brother Prince Jeffrey reportedly raced through the streets of Bandar Seri Begawan in Ferraris when they were younger. You'll never catch the Sultan of Brunei flying coach. When he needs to fly around the world, he hops in his $400 million Boeing 747. It's so luxurious that many people call it a flying palace, and it's equipped with $120 million worth of accessories like wash basins made of solid gold and Lalique crystal. The Boeing 747 isn't the only private jet in the Sultan's hangar. He also owns a grandiose Airbus A340-212 that he purchased for $103 million. It obviously wasn't luxurious enough because he spent another $124 million customizing it to his exact specifications. The Sultan of Brunei didn't buy his $500 million 150-foot super yacht. The stunning party vessel was once owned by Prince Jeffrey, but the Sultan had to seize the yacht after his brother allegedly embezzled $16 billion. The super yacht features 24-karat gold fittings, loads of marble, and elevators connecting the multiple decks. When the Sultan of Brunei plans a party, he spares no expense. He hosted a $27 million party for his 50th birthday, which included a gala dinner for 3,000 people and 3 exclusive performances by Michael Jackson. The Sultan paid $17 million to have the King of Pop sing and dance. The Sultan's daughter was also treated to a lavish shindig. Whitney Houston performed at her wedding for $7 million. When the Sultan travels around the globe, he only stays in the finest hotels. He's been known to spend as much as $1 million per trip, and he usually rents out the entire floor for himself and his entourage. When he's in London, the Sultan stays at St. John's Lodge. The fabulous mansion was purchased by the Brunei government for $55 million, but the land is still owned by the British monarchy. It's nowhere near as luxurious as Istana Nurul Iman, but it's still one of the most expensive private residences in the UK. Did you know that the Sultan is also an avid art collector? He bought the painting Young Girls at the Piano by French Impressionist Pierre-Auguste Renoir in the 1980s for $70 million, and Istana Nurul Iman is filled with paintings by Monet and Picasso. Prince Jeffrey once owned a $700 million art collection, but the Sultan seized that too and sold it at auction. You won't find the Sultan of Brunei getting a trim at Supercuts. He spends as much as $24,000 per haircut. So why is the Sultan's coif so pricey? Well, he pays for his favorite stylist, Ken Modesto, to fly from London to Brunei. Modesto gets to fly first class in a Singapore Airlines luxury suite. The haircut itself costs a few thousand, and the Sultan even pays for Modesto's accommodations in Brunei. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to this channel for more great videos.